Good day and very warm welcome to this meditation experience. Thank you for joining. And we are going to explore this idea that's been around for quite a while on various spiritual paths, this idea of Ahimsa or non-violence. And I really find this such a fascinating topic. Especially, we often think, nonviolence towards others or even towards nature, to walk gently on the earth. And even when we're talking about nonviolence relative to others, we think of it as free of conflict, free of war. But I find it really interesting to look at this topic first and foremost with respect to the management of the self, how I address the self, because obviously that will deeply color how I address others and nature. So non-violence towards the self, we're going to explore that. And as we go into the exploration, I'm going to give you a few minutes with an initial question right now. So the question is, when you make a mistake, how do you respond to yourself or react sometimes? So when you make a mistake, what happens inside of you? So just to take a moment sitting with that question, when I make a mistake, what happens inside? So let's prepare to unpack that dynamic. First, just settling into the space. So really bringing my focus, my attention completely into this moment. Time has stopped. Know where I need to be, nothing I need to do, except give myself 100% of my attention. Even this act of focusing my attention, do I do that in a violent way or a non-violent way? Am I forcing or suffocating other thoughts? Or am I really pulled by love and interest to focus on the self? I think about my attitudes towards discipline and concentration. Even as I place these words in the center of my inner world, how do they make me feel? Discipline, concentration. Do they feel in any way harsh or violent or forceful or aversive? Or is there any experience of love and care with respect to those words? They are, of course, essential on any journey of self-understanding and transformation. I will have to concentrate on the self, and in order to transform or restore well-being, I will have to have some program of practices and principles that I observe. What changes discipline and concentration from compulsion to care, from a forceful act to a loving one? It ultimately depends on the feelings towards the self. That is the first discipline. My sense of self-worth. So I go to the very, very center of my inner world, where the essence of who I am resides, stripped of all labels and layers. The very eternal, timeless sense of myself, just I, the being, I, the being. I have to become quite quiet, free of any worldly thoughts, to hold this experience of the self. Very, very quiet, sacred, simple experience of the self. Just I, the being, not even aware of the body, and certainly not of the roles and responsibilities, just I, pure being. Am I aware of how precious I am? Not valuable for the wrong reasons, but valuable for the right reason. Am I aware of how precious I am? I am life itself. You cannot put any price tag on life. It is, of course, invaluable. And more than that, I am one of a kind. Within me is a spiritual makeup, a wonderful mixture of virtues that are unique to me, a unique spiritual DNA that I share with only one other soul, God, the Supreme Soul, my spiritual parent. I am one of a kind. Do I know how precious I am? The natural nature of the human soul is to take care of what they perceive to be valuable. It's not so much discipline in a violent way, but discipline based on recognition of the value, from violence to valuable, wanting to nurture, develop, empower, and integrate into my day-to-day life that sense of how precious I am. That will require a daily practice or discipline of experiencing myself in this very pure, essential, timeless way. Just I, the soul, the being of immeasurable value. Everything else around me comes and goes. I had developed the habit, the discipline of investing my value in all those things around me. The package, the body, the people, the possessions, the positions. That had become my discipline. And it was, of course, I now see, a bit of a violation of the self. I was completely neglecting what truly makes me valuable. My value can never lie outside of myself. It can only reside within me. I have to go inside to experience my own value. Anything else is a subtle form of violence against the self. If I adopt this discipline, this care, this nurturing of my true value, it will transform my entire path of self-transformation, self-development, bringing me back to that first question. How do I manage myself in the face of a mistake I've made? How do I feel about myself, address myself when I make a mistake? One possibility is to blame someone or something else. That's a little violence. And then it's stopping, halting, shutting down the possibility I can grow. Another one, of course, is to feel bad. To start feeling not very valuable. And that, of course, is back to being a violation against the self. Is it possible to face a mistake I've made, not blame or point outside, and still feel valuable? That, of course, is the height of non-violence towards the self. To understand the self. To always believe in the self. Even in the face of my own mistakes, will make it possible to use that mistake in a worthwhile way. To understand it had to happen in order to reveal something about the self that's blocking my development. It is a gift. When I address myself in such a respectful way, I am adopting the path of value rather than violence. It is an art, learning how to be nonviolent with the self. But it is an essential art to master on this journey towards personal dignity. Om Shanti.